I want to welcome you to the Ask Jeff YouTube channel. Here's today's question. It says, last March you answered a question about apostolic succession. You focused more on the papacy than the succession itself. The Orthodox believe in succession as well, but not the papacy, of course. Can you address where or when the doctrine of succession proper comes in, not just the papacy? Okay, again, it comes in historically a little bit later than the papacy, because understand we have to go back to the 4th century where the Roman Empire and what we know as institutionalized Christianity somewhat merged themselves in what we collectively historically call the Roman Catholic Church. Now, that being said, obviously there is this papal succession that we're most familiar with that they claim goes back to Simon Peter. We could dispute that, and we have in other videos. Now, pure succession, meaning the cardinals, the pastors, the elders, whatever, this idea of one generation laying its hands on another and, quote, succeeding them. I don't think there's an argument biblically against succession. Hear me clearly. In other words, you have local churches who have leadership that either dies, is martyred, or moves away, and new leadership comes in. We call it, in the Baptist tradition, we ordain men to take such leadership positions. They are succeeding them. I think the biggest issue here is not just apostolic succession for the papacy, but there were these men known as apostles. They had special gifts. They had special abilities. I mean, think their shadows brought healing. Their napkins brought restoration. If you look at Acts chapter 19, that's the issue that I'm more concerned with. Not the fact that you have a pastor, or in the Orthodox case, a bishop who's been in a location and he has succeeded 12, 13, 14 other generations of leadership. That succession doesn't bother me, because you're dealing with, in a Baptist case, a local congregation. In an Orthodox case, you're dealing with a denominational context where leadership is succeeding. My biggest issue with succession, apostolic succession, whether it be papacy and or true apostles, is the aspect of giftedness and calling, not successive generations of leadership. In the papacy, it is the belief that he is the vicar of and the representative of Christ. I have a lot of issues with that. When it comes to the apostles themselves, they had gifts and, shall I say, a calling of God that is different than pastors and teachers and such. And so, again, succession from one generation to the next, I mean, at the end of the day, that's what's going to happen to me here at First Baptist Church of Opelika. I mean, it's going to happen. There's going to come a day where I'm in heaven. I'm not here anymore. And guess what? Somebody will succeed me in leadership and in preaching, and that's great. But we're not claiming that the gifts of the apostles are being passed down through the generations, just the privilege of serving and leading. Great question. If you have one, send to askjeff.net. Maybe your question be tomorrow's. Thanks for being a part of today's daily question. Now, we answer a question each and every day. Please feel free to submit a new question at askjeff.net. We may not have gotten to yours today, but we eventually will continue to be a part of this. Subscribe so you don't miss out on a question every day.